Hello, welcome back to 78 Reflections. My name is Patty Elaine, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to do a bit of a reflective or contemplative reading. And this was inspired by, well, first of all, Juli from Peekaboo Rose did a video that I watched this week. And it was grab a deck and read with me. And I was actually in bed watching the video. And I had a deck beside the bed and I grabbed a deck and I did a reading with her. And I loved that. And then just yesterday, I noticed Julia from the Highly Sensitive Tarot did a VR. And I thought, what a great idea. So I was inspired to do the same. And so grab a cup of coffee. If you don't have one, I have one here. So I also have a brand new deck. And even though I am on a low buy this year, I am not on a no buy. And I have been wanting a photograph deck for a long time. But I haven't seen one that I loved until this one. And I really wanted to buy this one because, first of all, it is a Canadian creator. It is the Ebony Tarot. I'll do a flip through after, but I want to jump right into the reading. Anyway, this is the deck I'm going to be working with today, and I've just been charging it on my selenite plate. So this reading, Juli from the Peekaboo Rose, she was talking about being in a period of transition, feeling upheaval, and also, going through a time where she's lacking self-confidence. And so she wanted to do this reading. She was asked to do this grab a deck reading. So if you want to grab a deck and read along with me, I know I have a lot of fun doing that. We're going to use the same prompts that she used from her beautiful, I can't remember what the deck is called, but she uses a deck with coffee cups on the cards. And we are going to use the same reflection prompts. And also just pull one card for each prompt. And so the first prompt is, what if I didn't compare myself to others? And I think this is a really great question because oftentimes, did I mix this deck up already? I'm not going to worry about it. May have not. Oftentimes, during periods when I know I'm lacking self-confidence, it is because comparison is the thief of joy. So what if I didn't compare myself to others? The Hermit card. I like this hermit. He's holding this very cool looking snake staff. And then he's holding his lantern up, but this light is behind him. And for me, when the Hermit card comes up, I really think about trusting my own wisdom. What if my own wisdom was enough? What if my own path was enough? And so I think that for this question of what if I didn't compare myself to others, this hermit does not look lacking in confidence. And I think that really connects to standing in our own worthiness. And I think that if we can take away this comparison trap that we can also find the path we're meant for more easily. So the second question is a great one. And it is, what am I overthinking? Well, let me tell you, I have an incredible ability to overthink, including overthinking. So let's see what this deck has to say about what am I overthinking? Okay, this card wants to jump out. Well, the reason why I kind of smirked when I saw the Fool is because the Fool card has been coming up quite a bit for me, and I do think I have been overthinking the Fool. It's this energetic pull towards more spontaneity, less planning, releasing my need for control. And what I love about this Fool is he actually looks very grounded for a Fool. This foot is lifting up, but he's got feet on the ground. And his eyes are closed, and, he's holding his flower. And even his dog is quite calm. And I love that for a different vibe of the Fool. And so, what if I'm overthinking how simple this could really be? What about that? And the last question is, what is one step I can take right now? And I love that this spread ends on a very practical question. What is one step I can take right now? Okay. At the bottom of the deck, Six of Cups. I feel like my lighting is really off again. I'm sorry if it is. The Five of Wands. I don't love conflict. And I know that there is healthy conflict. And sometimes the Five of Wands is like an internal conflict. And so in exploring this spread of navigating periods of upheaval or transition when we're lacking self-confidence, we have the encouragement of owning our own path and trusting our own wisdom when when I don't compare myself to others. And then to recognize that this overthinking and an encouragement to just relax and having a more grounded version of the Fool in my life right now. And embracing this conflict that I'm feeling rather than rejecting it. Because the one thing I know for sure is that rejecting my feelings, only makes them stronger. So let's take a look at the guidebook and see if there's additional wisdom to layer on that with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands represents conflict, competition, and struggle. It symbolizes challenges and disagreements that arise when individual or forces compete for the same resources or goal. And so I do think that the first step I can take is recognizing this conflict that I have within myself. Because I do think that's the first step forward. Also, let's just take a moment to admire the bottom of the cup, the bottom of the deck, which is the Six of Cups. And I like this imagery. I like the environment that they're in. And the fact that they're just enjoying this moment together. And the different generations connecting. And the fact that, this woman is barefooted, is, being open, being vulnerable. Because I think a big part of the Six of Cups, like the Six of Cups is often thought of as nostalgia. And I think it can also be about sharing our nostalgia with others. And so I think that in times of upheaval and transition, connecting to simpler times and remembering what simplicity feels like, if that's accessible to us, can be really helpful. So yeah, I'm gonna sit with the spread. I like to keep spreads. I have a table where I keep them, and I'm going to contemplate that one further. But I do want to share with you this deck. So the Ebony Tarot, I will link their Etsy site. And this deck creator is, her desire was to create this deck with Afro-descendant artists and personalities from the greater Montreal area. So I'm a Canadian. I'm happy to see that. She did this project with a modern flair, and I think it's really beautiful. The cardstock is nice. You can see this image. I guess it's not really reversible. That's okay with me. You can see this beautiful pink gilding. And the imagery is just really beautiful. I love that these photographs were all taken in Montreal. And they did, like, for example, Photoshop in elements of the tarot. But these are real people. These are real artists in this deck. And I think they did a beautiful, beautiful job. The landscape tells a lot of the story for me in this. This Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords offers clarity, but this rock reminds me that it's not always easy to find that clarity. But the sky is also very, very hopeful. The coloring in the skies. The sky there. See how the landscape is very familiar to me, being a Canadian. I'm not from Montreal. I've only been to Montreal once. But it does feel very familiar to me. And so I'm very happy to have this deck. This is my very first time working with it. I just received it. Look at this beautiful Judgment card. Oof. So I'm looking forward to getting to know this deck more. And the guidebook is very simple. It's in English and in French. I read you the guidebook excerpt. It's very short. It's just a few sentences. I'm okay with that. I like to, oh, look at this Wheel of Fortune card. Really love that with the compass in the center and the monkey. I'm excited to have this deck. Reveling in all of the delicious Seven of Cups choices. The Moon. This Three of Pentacles really stood out to me in this, you know, working together for a common purpose, but everyone sort of bringing their own strengths. Whoa, look at this Four of Cups. And you can just feel this grief in this card. This Death card also, when I did my original flip through, this Death card really, I had a visceral reaction to this as well. Three of Cups. This Five of Pentacles card really struck me as this feeling of being on the outside. Thank you for being with me today. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. I will link both Peekaboo Rose's video and the Highly Sensitive Tarot, Julie and Julia, as luck would have it. And I will also link the Etsy site for this deck if you're interested. And please like this video if you do. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. And until the next time, may the cards bring us truth bombs when we need it and gentleness when we don't. See you in the next one.